Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a table partition by range, by list, and by hash. Okay, uh, let me show you first the first method. Let's create a table by range. Okay, so basically the first step is to create the table itself. Then the second step is, in this example, we are going to use the column batch date. Okay, so after we create this table, we have to create the uh, basically the partitions table based on this batch date. Okay, so let me create a partition table here. So in this example, as you can see, I'm going to create the partition table of the first of the basically we have a main table here. The main table here is students, right? So after we create the main table, we will create a partition table of this main table, which is students, right? So for this example, I'm going to create three partitions. So one partition table for the month of January, another partition for the month of February, and uh, third partition for the month of March. So as you can see here, I defined some range. So for the month of January, I the values must be from January to uh, 1st of February. So this is inclusive from this date to this date, which is exclusive, right? It means from 1st of January to end of January. Same with this, from 1st of February to end of February. And also with this, from first day of month of March to end of March. Okay, so let's create these tables. First, the main table and the partitions of our main table. So as you can see here, let's say we want to insert data in table students. Based on the value of the batch date, it will be stored according to its partition. For example, we insert a record with a date fall on, let's say the date is February 3. So February 3, if we insert to this table, it will be stored in this partition, February, because of the range we defined. Okay, so let's check it out. So now our table is empty, right? So we're going to insert the data. So now let's say our test data, as I said a while ago, is February, right? 2021 02 February, let's say February 3, March 22. So if we insert this record, it should be stored in this partition. Let me verify first. Now it's empty, right? Select asterisk. from February. Okay, this is the main, this is our main table is empty, and this is the partition of our main table, so it's empty also. Now we are going to insert a record to our main table, which is student. Okay, so even we insert it to this table, it should be stored physically in this partition. So now let's run this insert statement. Okay, then we verify in the main table it's inserted, of course, but physically it is stored in this partition, February. Okay, so that's the create table, create partition table by range. Next, I'm going to show you the how to create table partition by list. Actually, the concept is almost the same. So again, let me create a table with let me create the main table CT. Okay, as you can see, the syntax here is instead of by range, it's by list. Okay, so meaning this by list, meaning it will take the first letter of the field name. For example, the name is Calgary, so it will take the first letter C. C is the first letter, the left, right, and it will convert to, basically from this city name we can derive C, small c. That's the meaning of this left lower name. Okay, so let me create, since we already created the main table, let me create the partition table of city, of our main table, which is city. Okay, so here, okay, since we only have how many, okay, so let me only create two partitions, one partition for A and B and another partition for C and D. Okay, sorry. Oh, I think I haven't created the main table yet. Yeah, so let me create all of them. All right, let me refresh. So as you can see here in our normally in our, now I'm using the dbeaver tool, right? If you check the UI in that how you could, database navigator of dbeaver, you cannot see the, normally you cannot see the table, the partition of the main table. You can only see the main table only. In this case, you can only see cities in the database navigator. Normally the partitions of the main name table, main table rather, the partition of the main table is not showing. All right, anyway, if we insert, same as partition by range, if we insert here the data with a within this list, it will store to its respective partition. So let me verify that. Let me insert a data, copy. So in so now we have we're expecting we are expecting record with these values, A, B, C, and D. So let's say the city name is let's say New York. I don't know. Alberta. Alberta. Population, let's say 100. So if I insert this, it will go to the first partition, right? Okay, let me verify. Select asterisk from first partition. Okay, there you go. So now, what if we insert let's say we insert another city name with, let's say, New York. So the initial of New York is N, right? N, and N is not included in the list values that we expect for each partition, right? For the first partition, we expect A or B. Second partition, we expect C or D. So now this New York starts with N. So if we insert this kind of data, it will throw some error because we are only expecting A, B, C, or D in our partition. So let me verify that. With this, if I run this query, it should throw some error. Okay, see, the error is no partition of rotation cities found for row detail partition key of the paling row contains left. Okay, so as I said, the value of our name should start with A, either A, B, C, or D. So let me try again to insert another city name. Let's say this time Calgary. So this time it starts with C, right? This time we should expect another a record from second partition, which is cities underscore city. So let me verify first. So now the cities underscore city should be empty, right? So after I insert this to the main table, which is cities, it should be stored physically to this partition, cities underscore city, because it starts with C. Okay, let me run this. Alright, let me check the output. There we go. This is the data. So far we already show you the how to create partition by range and by list. So the last method is create partition by hash. So again, it's the same concept, but the change is only by, let me show you again the difference. So by list, partition by list, so we specify here the list condition, but same with hash, we specify the hash condition here. Normally this is the parameter here is the column from here. So in our case, it's order ID. Okay. So the same here with by list, the column is name. Okay. So let me create the main table for hash partition. All right. Then let's create the the partitions of our main table. So here we our values is modulus. For example, here our main table we use the column order ID, right? So modulus of order ID and modulus for remainder uh, 0. Okay, let me create our partitions. Let me insert orders. Okay, let me insert sample data. Okay, so let's say 10. If 10 divided by let's say 8 divided by 4, the remainder is 0. Okay, so if I run this, this is order ID 1, because our condition, the hash is using cost underscore ID. No, order 1, sorry about that. Okay, so let's say 8 divided by 4, the remainder should be 0, right? Okay, so let's say for customer order, let's say 10, let's say 1. So status active. So if I run this should go to first partition, right? Alright, so let me verify. Or oh my, sorry about that. I think it goes to second partition. Yeah, I think it goes to second partition. Yes, it goes to second partition because the remainder is, there is one remainder, right? Because IT. Yeah, basically it goes to second partition because this condition is satisfied. Okay, so basically the concept of the is the record goes to its respective partition based on the condition that we define. It applies to three methods. The first method is that I show you is the partition by range. The second method is the partition by list, and the lastly, the last method I have show you is partition by hash. So as you can see, there is common to these three method, right? So basically the record that we insert goes to their respective partition based on the conditions that we define, right? So I think that's all, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something again from this video, and hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.